Like all booktube trends, I'm late. This is a bandwagon that everyone hopped on months and months ago, and I just finally decided to make one myself. So I finally decided to make my TBR jar. If you don't know what a TBR jar is, it's basically just a jar of book titles that are to be read. I worked really hard to make mine pretty. On the top it says to be read. It says TBR in like cool glass bubble paint. And it has all the pretty ribbons because most of my room is blue and red, as you can tell by the millions of Union Jacks around it. When it comes to picking up a new book, I'm very indecisive. I never know what to read next, so this is really going to help me in the future. I do think I did this a little bit different than everyone else who's done it. Everyone's is filled like up to here. The only thing I can assume is that people put books that they don't have, but the only books that I put on this are the books on my bookshelf that I haven't read, because if I put a book that I don't have, I'm just going to feel obliged to go out and buy it when I could just be reading something I already have, so then I can buy that book later. So I'm being financially smart by doing this. And also, I'm a lover of rereads. I reread books all the time. I've said it in like millions of videos that I just keep rereading books over and over again. So I put titles of books that I want to reread in the future in here as well, because I really do switch off between reading a new book and rereading an old book quite often. I'm going to make a video dedicated just to rereading because I love it so much, so that's going to be up later this month. And rather than just talking about my TBR jar, I'm going to actually show you the books that I put on it. So let's go. The Testing by Joelle Charbonneau, Independent Study by Joelle Charbonneau, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Briggs, When We Wake by Karen Healy, The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien, Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, New Moon by Stephanie Meyer, Eclipse by Stephanie Meyer, and Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer, Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins, Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, If I Stay by Gail Farman, An Abundance of Catherines by John Green, The Edge of Falling by Rebecca Searle, The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, and Half Bad by Sally Green. Now for books that I know when I want to read and reread them, I didn't put them in the TBR jar. For example, I really want to read Game of Thrones for the summer, so I think my first book for July is going to be Game of Thrones. When the Maze Runner movie comes out, I'm going to want to reread it before I see the movie. Same with Mockingjay and pretty much book to movie adaptations, or unless like I have a specific time I want to read it. And now for the reread portion of my TBR jar. The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I never have Divergent when I want to make a video about it, but Divergent by Veronica Roth, the Mara Dyer series by Michelle Hodkin, the Legend series by Marie Lu, Beautiful Creatures by Kemi Garcia and Margaret Stoll, The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, This Is 7 Times as Heavy with another book, but The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare, and the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. So that is my TBR jar. Once I reread a book, I'm going to write it down again and place it back in it if I want to reread it, and whenever I get a new book, I'm just going to immediately add it so I can add it to my pile of to be read. My to be read list on Goodreads is much longer because that's everything I want to read, including the books not on my shelf, so if you want to see what else I have planned to read, go check that out. I'll leave the link below. And that is pretty much it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. If you know anything about these books, always just let me know what you thought of them or what you've heard about them. And that is it. I will see you guys soon for a new video. Bye! My advice to anyone who is ever planning on making a video involving books is to never take more than 15 off at once, because this is going to be a pain in the ass to put back. I don't even know how this happened.